What credit score do you actually need to buy a house?
I'm not really sure.
See, a lot of people think you need the perfect credit or a 700 plus score. But I recently had a client with a credit score right around 620 who thought she wasn't even ready to buy it. We told her, let's just talk to the lender and let's just see what happens. And guess what? She ended up getting approved to buy a home. So in this video, I'm going to break down the general credit score range that lenders often look at when buyers are applying for a home loan. So here's some of the things that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the credit scores lenders usually consider, how lenders actually read your credit, and a few simple things that can help buyers improve their credit. Just a quick note, I am not a lender or a credit specialist, but these are general guidelines that many lenders may use. And the best thing to do is always speak directly with a lender about your specific situation. Hi guys, I'm Nakia Warner with Pink Sands Group, also known as McDonough's favorite realtor. And on this channel, I help buyers and sellers understand the real estate market so they can make smarter decisions. Just be informed, guys. So let me tell you about that buyer. So the thing was, her credit score was sitting like around 620, and she assumed she needed to wait until her credit was much higher before buying a home. She's like, I gotta get to the sevens. But instead of guessing, we said, let's connect you with the lender and actually look at the numbers. The lender reviewed her credit, income, and overall financial picture. And she ended up getting approved for a home. She was actually ready to buy. That surprises a lot of people because many buyers assume they need perfect credit before even talking to a lender. That is not always the case. One of the biggest misconceptions buyers have is that they need a 700 or even a 750, sometimes an 800 just to buy a home. Now, this is the thing. While higher credit scores can help with interest rates, many buyers qualify with lower scores depending on the loan program. So let's look at some of the general ranges that lenders often work with, or what I have seen. So for FHA loans, buyers can sometimes qualify with scores around 580 or higher. But make sure you have a good bit of money saved, because oftentimes when your score is below like a 620 or 640, the bank may want you to have a few months of your mortgage payments set aside in your account in addition to other home buying expenses like your down payment and closing costs. Now for VA loans, the score lenders look for can vary depending on the lender, but many lenders look for scores in the low 600s. So the credit score needed to buy a home might actually be lower than many people think. Now, here's another thing to consider, and another thing that most buyers just don't seem to realize. When a lender pulls your credit, they usually see 3 scores, not 1. These scores come from 3 different credit bureaus: Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. And the lender usually looks at your middle score. So let me explain that in pretty simple terms. So let's say your 3 scores look like this. So you've got a 600, a 640, and a 645. The lender usually ignores the highest and the lowest and uses the one in the middle. So in this example, the score the lender would use would be a 640. Think of it like lining the numbers up and picking the one right in the middle. That's the score most lenders will use when determining the loan program that you may qualify for. Now, another important thing to understand is that lenders don't only look at your credit score. More pieces to that puzzle. They also look at things such as your income, your employment history, your debt compared to your income, and your overall financial picture. So 2 buyers with the exact same credit score might still have different loan approvals depending on those factors. So if your credit score is close but not quite where it needs to be, there are a couple of things that sometimes can help increase your score. Here's one that has worked for me and a few people I know: paying down your credit balances.
I think I can do that.
Keeping credit utilization under about 30%. Make sure all payments are on time. Just please avoid late payments and opening new accounts right before applying for a mortgage. Sometimes small changes can improve your credit score faster than people expect. And remember that the buyer we talked about earlier, who was around the 620, she almost waited a whole another year before exploring her options and signing a new lease. But once we spoke to that lender, she realized she was already in position to purchase. So if you're thinking about buying a home in the McDonough area, I'm always happy to help connect buyers with lenders so they can understand exactly what their options look like. Happy shopping!